Hey y'all, it's me and welcome back to my channel. Today I have an exciting video, and I know I say that at the beginning of every video, but that's because every video is exciting for me. But today I'm going to be doing a really requested video, and that is part 1 of a two-part mini series type thing, and that is all about brushes. And today's video is me explaining to you all of my favorite brushes. This looks like a lot, but it's not all of these. I just grabbed a whole bunch of ones, and anyways, it's just all about my favorite brushes, the brushes I think that you absolutely need to have to do your face every day and your eyes and everything, and then brushes that are nice to have but not necessarily needed. Another reason why there's so many is because I have some higher end ones and then some drugstore versions of them as well, so you can kind of find what's best for your price point and everything like that. Most of these brushes are dirty because I haven't washed them in about a week. I'm waiting to wash them actually until right after I film this video. I'm filming the second part of my brush, and that is how I clean my makeup brushes. And also, before I kind of jump in, I just wanted to say a quick general thing about brushes. All of my brushes are all synthetic brushes. There's really two main types of brushes, and that is synthetic, like Talcon, stuff like that. And then there is real hair, like goat hair or horse hair, stuff like that. And I prefer, personally for me, synthetic. The difference really between the two is how they apply your makeup on. And synthetic for me just, I feel is how I like my makeup. Synthetic is going to give you a really heavier, more pigmented application. Not necessarily heavier, but just a more pigmented. You're going to get the true color, true pigmentation of the things that you're putting on, to where true real haired brushes are more of a lighter application. You don't get as much pigmentation, more natural looking. Not that synthetic isn't natural, just natural hair kind of leans towards more lighter things. And I feel like you don't get the most out of your products when you're using those. So personally for me, I use all synthetic brushes. They're also easier to clean. They're generally cheaper, and they generally last longer as well. So to me, it's kind of why not? And I just really enjoy using all synthetic brushes. So yeah, that's just all that I use. I'm going to be starting out with all face brushes, and basically what I'm going to do is just kind of first give you the basics. This is what I think that everybody really needs if you're starting out, you don't own any brushes, or you're just completely starting over or something, and you just want the bare minimum what you can do to get a beautiful face makeup application and not really have a ton of excess brushes. This is what I think that you really need, the core brushes. The first is a good foundation brush, and I've tried tons and I really only have one. I don't have a drugstore option. I'm still on the lookout for that, but this is my Sigma Flat Kabuki F80 brush, and this is just beautiful. This buffs and blends your makeup beautifully. It's a great application and just so easy, so nice. It's very easy to clean. I just 2 thumbs up to this brush. This is amazing, and this is $20 to $25, I believe, and it is by Sigma. Next, I think that you definitely need a good powder brush in your life, and I have 2 to show you. The higher end version is this one by Sephora, and this is just called their powder brush. I really like this brush. It's nice and big and fluffy, and so it's really easy to kind of easily pat all your powder on and everything like that, just like I did there. This is just a really nice brush, and I really enjoy this. The drugstore dupe that I have for it is the e.l.f. powder brush, and I actually, if I'm being honest, prefer this one over the Sephora one because it is flat like the Kabuki, but it's very fluffy, so when you're pressing it into your skin, it's really getting in there and it's really setting your foundation well. So I do really enjoy this one, and this is $3 at Target or on elf.com, and I love it. I definitely think that this is a must-have brush. Next, if you are a bronzer girl, and if you are not, then you don't even need a bronzing brush, but if you do like to add a little bit of bronzer to your face, then there's 2 brushes that I recommend for that. The first one is again the same Sephora powder brush, and I actually prefer this as a bronzing brush more than I do as a powder brush. Like I said, I love that e.l.f. one, and the reason why is because it is so fluffy, so when you dip it into your bronzer, you can just really easily apply this. You're not contouring, you're just kind of warming up your complexion, and it's just beautiful. So I do actually like this better as a bronzing brush than a powder brush, but if you have it and you like it for powder, it works for you, then that's great. The kind of drugstore version I have of that is a little bit different, but I find that it applies the bronzer pretty much the same, and that is the e.l.f. Stipple brush. e.l.f. has some really, really good, nice quality brushes for inexpensive prices. The only thing I can recommend to you is to definitely give the Black Studio line a shot first. The professional line is a little hit or miss with their brushes. They are the ones, I'll show you. They're the ones with the white handles like this, and then this is the Studio line. I find that although these are $3 as opposed to $1, but still they're really inexpensive, and these are just really, really high quality brushes. So yeah, this is their large stipple brush, and I can dip this in bronzer and use it pretty much the same, and I find that it gives a very, very similar application as the Sephora one. And the last brush that I think you absolutely need if you just want a simple, beautiful face, and that is a blush brush, because I think that blush is just very necessary. I love wearing blush. So the higher end version that I have is the Sigma F40 Large Angled Contour. Yes, this is actually a contour brush, but I prefer this for blush. This is beautiful. If you dip it into your blush and then just dot it along your cheekbones, it's the perfect size to just fit right in there. And this is just a beautiful, beautiful brush to use for your blush. Again, this is the Sigma Large Angled Contour F40, and this is $22. The drugstore version that I have of this is the Real Techniques buffing brush, and these are very different shapes, as you can see. Same thing with like the bronzing brushes I just showed you, but I find that these give a very similar application. The Real Techniques one right here, same thing, dip it in the blush and then just dab it along right here. And I really like this one too because you can kind of use it to buff it. This is actually a buffing brush, so it is really nice to blend out the blush once you've applied it. And this came in a kit, so this is actually $18, but it comes with a whole bunch of other brushes. But I believe you can buy this individually, and if not, buy a very similar one by Real Techniques individually for about $8 or $9. That is what I believe to be your most basic brushes that I think everybody needs and is a great place to start. Now I have a couple more brushes here to show you that I think are a little bit more advanced, or if you want to take these steps and kind of amp your foundation and face makeup up a little bit. So that's what I'm going to show you now. Brushes that I don't think are necessarily necessary for everybody, but are definitely great brushes to have. This one is a brush to get your concealer and highlight and to pack it on and pat it out. If you don't have this brush, you could always just use your ring finger like this and just get underneath there, your nose, or wherever you're putting concealer. But I really love the job that this brush does. This is the Sigma Tapered Kabuki F86. It looks like this, and this is the perfect size to just get right underneath your eyes right here, or your nose, your cupid's bow. I love how it is pointed, so you can get into smaller places, your lips and everything, to highlight and just to pat out concealers, blend it out. This is just a beautiful brush. I don't have a drugstore option for this because I'm just so in love with this brush. I've never really looked for anything else. But yeah, this is a great brush, and again, this is $22 to $25 on Sigma.com. Sigma brushes are great. I love them because they're just such high quality brushes. They are a bit pricier than your drugstore brushes, so it is a little bit of a splurge, but compared to MAC brushes and like I said, Tom Ford and all the higher end IT Cosmetics, all those kind of brushes, they are extremely affordable and they're just amazing quality. I haven't found one that I'm not completely in love with. So if you're looking for some good brushes, I definitely recommend Sigma. That's just a little side note. So if you're going to have a really nice concealer and under eye highlight and all that stuff, I definitely think that you need a good brush to set that with. And for this one, I actually only have a drugstore option, because usually when I find a brush that I'm just completely in love with, if it's from the drugstore, I'm like, hey, I don't really need to look for anything, or I don't necessarily make it a priority to find something high-end. So this is my e.l.f. blush brush. It actually is a blush brush, but I don't use it for that. And this is just the cutest little brush ever. Yes, it is very dirty because I use this to set my under eye concealer, and I always use it with my Anastasia banana powder, so I've only used this 2 or 3 times this week and it already looks nasty, so I'll be washing this right after. But basically this is a great brush because I think it's kind of two-sided, so you can dip it and use it to set underneath like this. You can also use the other side with different colored powders to highlight and stuff like that. This is just a really nice brush to have, and this is only $3 from the drugstore. I mentioned bronzing earlier. If you're looking for something more to contour with, I really recommend this brush right here. And again, I don't have a high-end version for this because I just completely fell in love for the drugstore version. And this is the Real Techniques contour brush. It looks just like this. It is beautiful. It is the perfect size to just really get into your cheekbones. It's kind of pointed, which I really like because you can get like a really nice line all over your face, and especially like on your nose and everything like that. It is just such a beautiful brush. I haven't found anything that I like better than this, and this is, again, it came in the same kit as this one. So it was $18 in the kit with like 5 brushes, I believe. But you can buy this individually for 6 or 7. The next brush I have to show you, I actually have 3 options, and that is a highlight brush. Right now, I've been really into fanning on my highlight and using a fan brush for that. But I know some people prefer a more dramatic highlight and something that packs on your highlight shade a little bit darker. A drugstore fan brush, and this is the EcoTools Deluxe fan brush. It looks like this, and yes, it is so fluffy. I really love this. This is great if you do want a little bit more of a dramatic but still really natural highlight to just put along the cheekbones, and this is $7. I really love this brush. So this brush is a MAC 184 Duo Fiber Fan Brush, and it is, as you can see, a lot thinner. EcoTools one, this is like the comparison between the two. This one is a lot thinner, so it has a very different application, but I do really enjoy this brush for fanning on highlight. It is just so pretty, and this is a MAC brush, so it is $24, but it's a beautiful brush, and I really enjoy using this for highlight. So if you want to take a little bit of a different approach to highlighting and have it a little bit more of a dramatic highlight, then I would recommend patting it on instead of fanning it on. So what I recommend for that, your ring finger can apply highlight beautifully along the cheekbones, but also this e.l.f. small stipple brush, it looks like this. This again is $3, and this is beautiful just to really pack on highlight. I know it's a stippling brush, but since it is so small, it does give a very dense and pigmented application. So this is really nice to apply your highlight with. So those are all the brushes that I have to share with y'all today. Yeah, I really hope that y'all enjoyed this because it's been really requested. If you have any more questions at all, make sure to leave them down below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more. So as always, remember that you're beautiful because you're made in God's image, and I'll talk to you soon. Mwah! Bye.